Ooh, yes, today is a good day, my friends. We've got some Nada replays. Nada spawning over here in the top left-hand corner. His opponent today, XiaoShuai, to start us off. XiaoShuai, little handsome, is one of the stronger Chinese players out there, along with Xiaoge, little older brother, and now I can't remember any of the Mihu. There you go. There's another one. Can't believe I'm blanking on those names. Just did a bunch of casting for BSL recently from non-Korean pros, and a lot of Chinese players were in there. But I am all ready for Nada today. Very excited to be casting this guy once again. We saw him versus HM a little while ago on the channel. Now we've been waiting for the return of great players like this for a while. There's so many really interesting stories that could be had with some of these awesome players coming back into the fold after years and years of being dormant. Coming back to Broodwar and stirring things up. Players like Effort, who kind of disappeared for a very long time and now back on the ladder this season, playing a lot of great games, and we're getting to cast those and watch their rise into the pro scene here in Broodwar in 2025. It's an exciting time to be a fan of Broodwar, especially if you're one of the old school guys who's been around forever, who's been watching since kind of the birth of this esport. I'm looking at you, millennials. I know I'm one of you. We've seen so much history. And if you're a fan of Terran, then you're definitely a fan of Nada. Nada here, opening with a 1-Rax fast expand, as you do in the modern era. Nada did mess around a little bit in ASL in some of the earlier seasons, if I recall correctly, but never was able to take a victory. Not even going that deep, if I recall correctly, guys. I didn't take a look at the Wikipedia page today. I just wanted to jump straight in. Occasionally, I do refresh my memory on these things, as you should do, but I saw these two games and I just wanted to hop straight in. We've got XiaoShuai down here, setting up for a 2-hatch build, if I'm not mistaken. Gonna pop out 4 Lings here initially, and we will have an engineering bay. So the groundwork has really been set already for a pretty straight up game between these two. XiaoShuai is gonna get his Mutilus timing, try to get some damage going, attempt to get a 3rd base online most likely. Doubt that he'll go all in with this, but there is that possibility. Has not yet cleared out this SCV, which is now hiding in the corner down there. Forling's going to come and do that job. Make sure that Nada doesn't have perfect information. He is a very smart, very intelligent player. And so if he's able to just see exactly what you're up to, that's a problem. Now, he's been able to see the second, or the extra hatchery here. So it's a 2.5 hatchery with that Spire coming online as well. Here's that SCV seeing absolutely everything, including the Spire timing. And XiaoShuai has nothing in front of the natural, although, in fact, he doesn't really need anything in front of the natural. Bit of luck here is that there's no 2-Rax timing coming out of XiaoShuai, and there's still a little bit of time to react to something like that anyway. It'd be moving out at about a 5-minute mark. You can see just now the medic starting to pop out, and that stim pack upgrade coming online. It would be a bit faster with the 2-Rax Marine play, but not that much faster. And so now that the Lings are out here in front, you can see exactly when that's coming. A lot of drones being made. A lot of drones here on the minerals at the natural. So you can see the plan coming together for XiaoShuai. He's going to sit here and power a bit before taking that third base. Now on Deja Vu, it can be a little bit hard to hold one of these bases, but he'll probably take this one down here. If he wants to go Hydralis Defiler, we may see this one down at bottom center get taken, but 4 racks follow-up from Nada. Honestly, just, I think, the most solid way to play Terran right now. If you're going to be playing a lot of ladder games, this is the strongest build. It's so powerful. I mean, you can still sometimes catch a Zerg off guard with the 2 racks timing and get over there and get an easy win if they don't have the Sunken Colonies up in time. But at the higher levels, it's not very likely that you're just going to get a straight up win from there. And then you're going to be a little bit on the back foot. You might even lose your whole Bioforce to a big surround of Lings, something like that. Or maybe on the walk back, you know, you get picked off by the Mutas and then things start to spiral out of control. Here, he's just going to have a bunch of turrets ready. Has the range upgrade, will have +1 here soon. Diving all the way in right now, getting a few kills, but does lose a Mutalisk. I think that was about 2-3 kills, so not really that substantial. Looks like he's damaged quite a few of these SCVs in the mineral line, so maybe splitting shots a bit. Not the greatest first fly through, and this guy is going to start to get very powerful. Nada has a lot of production rolling, and there's not a huge amount of mutas on the field. You can see it really has been focusing on droning back at home. Going to start to make Sunken Colonies now, knowing that this Bioforce is a serious threat. Third base on the way in the bottom right-hand corner. Nada going to use this moment of strength to move forward and force the Mutalisk out of his base. No more harassment is going to be coming his way. And he's sticking here on 35 workers. That's very light-esque to stay on 35 workers. Okay, 36. He's got 1 extra. And then he starts SCV production again. Interesting. So he gets his factory. Then he's going to restart that SCV production. He's still building turrets. And he's waiting for reinforcements. Waiting for another round of bio to make its way to the front. So this force can be kind of undeniable. See, there's 11 Mutalisks here. Maybe he could pick away at this and eventually overwhelm it as more Lings and Mutas come out. But if you keep reinforcing this ball, eventually you're going to need Lurkers. Like, you're just not going to be able to fight that straight up with Mutas. Now, here's that reinforcement wave. It comes in just in the nick of time, and you can see that XiaoShuai was thinking about overwhelming that. But with the reinforcement wave, not enough stuff to take that on, and it really does become like this kind of overwhelming amount of firepower once you get to like that 2 to 3 groups of bio. You can see here he's pushing forward, trying to threaten the natural, but I really like what XiaoShuai is doing here. I just wish that he was on high ground. He could start to catch these reinforcements. He's continuing to build Lings here. He does have Lurker aspect on the way, but he's kind of required to overwhelm this now. He needs to kill this Bioforce, and I think with this flanking maneuver, he might just be able to do it. It's really unfortunate he's not catching these reinforcements. Can he get on top of this? He will. Gets on top of that reinforcement wave. He's going to be able to kill the majority of these Marines. In fact, crushing that little group coming up from behind. Where are all the Mutas here? Okay, there is a big stack there. I just managed to misclick somehow and not select all of those. And now Lings are going to come up from both sides. Can he finish this off? Oh, a little bit off timing there from XiaoShuai. He's going to lose that entire that entire Ling force. All aside from 1 Ling goes down there. That is rough. Really should have been able to surround and potentially kill that whole Bioforce, but coming in at a bit of a missed timing. XiaoShuai showing a little bit of weakness here. Unable to destroy that Bioforce that he's been carefully whittling down over time. Gonna catch some reinforcements coming forward, but not sending the Lings in at a good timing there. He will send the Lings in as an afterthought and eventually wipe this out. And actually, he takes a pretty reasonable trade. Back at home has Lurkers as well to defend. So this Bioforce here not going to be overly impactful, and this game will go on. So we've kind of dodged the first bullets here that have been fired on either side. The Mutilus timing didn't really do anything, and this bio push out has been kind of thwarted. It's been slowed down enough to where it's just not that scary. It's not like he's going to be able to bust this sunken colony with 2 lurkers. At least I don't think so, especially once the Overlord gets over top of that pile, out over top of that stack of lurkers. Then you can't really target fire that. You're going to end up shooting a lot of your Gauss rifle shots at this sunken colony, and so not going to be able to just run in an arc and like target fire down the lurkers really quickly and break the position. Plus consume is just about done. Defilers are going to be out here, and the Groove Spine's on the way. Interesting choice. Going to be going into a 4th base now, but angling towards Hydralisk Defiler play. That is interesting. A lot of Zerg players at the highest level just won't bother with Hydralisk Defiler if they can get away with a quick 4th gas. And it looks like he's going to get that quick 4th gas, but he's just going to go for Hydra Defiler anyway. So we'll see how that works out for him. Is he going to just eraser trick the natural right now? Oh my gosh, this could get a lot of damage. Does get a few drone kills, but the Scourge, come on, move the Scourge. Here we go, Scourge, get him. I think he's going to get some fire bats here on the backside. Another drone went down there. And so a few drones have been killed, but that was the first 2 vessels thrown in kind of for free. Really fortunate that XiaoShuai had the Scourge in position, and he really should get Burrow now. I'm surprised he's not researching that upgrade. He definitely has the money to do so, and it'll save him a lot of grief later. You can see how aggressive Nada is, just diving in with the initial couple of vessels and letting them die basically for free. I mean, killed like, what, 4 or 5 drones? That's so easy to replace. 2 lurkers here at the bottom right natural. Is there... Where's the Defiler? Okay, it pops through. Does not have the energy, though. Gotta consume. Throw down the Dark Swarm. Okay. A little bit off here. Obviously, having the lurkers that far over to the side is kind of crazy. Marines could run behind this, but a couple more Dark Swarms would just cut that off. He wouldn't be able to kill the hatchery, and he'd probably lose all of his bio, so he's going to back off for the time being. Muta's flying over to the top right. That's perfect. He might be able to shut down this base from Nada. Kind of a risky base to be taking here over in the top right. He's not going to see it. That's so funny. A lot of upgrades going on right now. Both players kind of powering. Ooh, great Plague. Glad I caught that. Right as Plague comes online, gets a beautiful Plague on basically everything. Looking for another one. Don't think he'll get it, but he can at least throw down Dark Swarm in the natural. Make sure he's safe. Hydras are starting to pop out in large number. No +2 attack, I don't think. Yeah, no +2 attack on the way just yet. Might have missed that upgrade. You know, clicked it and it not actually started. That can happen from time to time. Oh, we could get another big Plague here on a bunch of these vessels. Will he go for it? No, he's trying to make his way over towards this base. And in fact, he has the energy to make another Dark Swarm here, run this lurker up. 12 HP on that, kind of funny. It will survive for now. Too bad there's no fire bat in that bunker. Would have made short work of it. Jumping through the Nidus Canal, but he doesn't throw down a Dark Swarm first, and so good target fire here from Nada, but he loses a lot of bio. Take a look at the upgrades here. 2-1 is complete. Nice Plague there as well, hitting a lot of these medics. Most of the Marines as well. So this base actually does end up finishing. Pretty funny that he never went after that. I'm not sure what happened to... Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So many Marines. Oh, wow. 8 kills on this lurker is pretty crazy. Dark Swarm and Plague could actually just finish this Bioforce completely. Yeah, there we go. There's the Dark Swarm. Everything's going to run away for now. This 8-kill lurker will end up falling. Double factory spot starting to be built over here in the top right-hand corner. It's up to XiaoShuai to get out on the map and prevent this. He needs to prevent that from happening. If he allows that to go up for free, would just be delaying the game for an insane amount of time. Like, once you start to get tanks up on this high ground, it becomes so impossible to just kill the Terran player. It becomes ridiculously hard to make that happen, and so he's going to go ahead and throw down a Plague over here, start to rush this area with some Hydras, but I don't know if he's going to be able to break that. He's trying to push over to the center left and cause a bit of a ruckus over there. He's got to start expanding, double expansion here and here, plus putting on pressure towards this base. That is a necessity at this point. Got to get that rolling here as soon as possible. Run up and snipe some of these vessels. Vessel snipe. Oh, no, not going to be able to get any of that, but he will threaten the center left. Now, I'm sure that Nada isn't happy about this, but he'll take it. I'll let this base go because I've got this in my back pocket. These two bases up here are worth infinitely more than this base over here because of the fact that you're cutting that off for the Zerg. The Zerg cannot get that top right now. And you're basically splitting the map in half. Eventually, you'll be able to come over and retake this, potentially. There's a good chance you can retake that. Now, battle cruisers, I don't necessarily agree with. Making battle cruisers right now when your opponent's going straight into Hydra Defiler, that's a little bit wild. Making that many battle cruisers as well. He's going to bank up like 5 battle cruisers and then try to do some sort of tactical play with them. And there's Defilers and Hydras absolutely everywhere on this map. So, I mean, you're going to get plagued, obviously, and then you're probably just going to have Dark Swarm Hydra pushing into those battle cruisers. So I don't know how well this is going to work, but we've seen previously he really likes to build a bunch of battle cruisers and try to make use of them. Nada is a huge fan of this tactic, and he's going to send the battle cruisers down now. Looks like they're heading towards the natural, but again, Hydras and Defilers right there. Can't really do too much against Dark Swarm Hydra, especially when you mix some plagues in with that. Tanks are now setting up on the high ground. It's becoming a more difficult game here for XiaoShuai, but he should be able to get up multiple fresh bases here in just a moment. We're going to have that Dark Swarm here in a second. Dark Swarm getting thrown down in this natural mineral line. Should be the end of the harassment at this location. What is he doing right now that's more important than throwing down this Dark Swarm? I'm not sure. Maybe going to have a Yamato Cannon? Yes, Yamato Cannon will be used. Nice snipe there on that Defiler. That's really going to cause a lot of problems here. With 5 Yamatos, you can start to pick off a lot of stuff. And it takes a long time to regain that energy, but you could potentially shut down quite a bit of mining there. Ooh, having a hard time throwing down that Dark Swarm. But he's managed to get it pretty close to the ramp. Now, can he close the distance and get right on top of this base? He's going to try for it now. Dark Swarm does manage to locate those lurkers right in front. Nothing going on with these battle cruisers for the time being, but we'll try to keep an eye on that. Might have to go picture in picture when these battle cruisers start throwing down their Yamato. Okay, we do catch this now. He's going to start to fly forward. A lot of Hydras are here, but no Defiler for the moment. Where is the Defiler in the natural here, XiaoShuai? Making a bit of a mistake in not having that ready to go. Now, the upgrades are going to be very good right now for the Hydras. So they're going to do a lot of damage, that explosive damage against these big units. Be doing full damage there. Might be able to snipe down a couple of these vessels too. All right, vessels being targeted. Can he get another one? He gets 2. Almost manages to get the 3rd as well. He's also shut down mining over at this base. Can he get the vessel? He does get the vessel. That's huge. Where are the Defilers right now? What the heck? Are we seriously not building Defilers? We're just building Hydras from these bases? He's going to come up from behind. There's a Defiler finally, but that was a really bad trade. Truly an awful trade there from XiaoShuai, who is losing this base because of no Defiler. 1 Defiler there shuts down this attack. You just put all the Hydras in the mineral line and drop a Dark Storm on the mineral line. It protects all the drones and all the Hydras. And then you just fall back, do another consume, and then come up and re-up with the Dark Swarm there in the natural, and you're going to be fine. You're going to protect everything. The best you can do is Yamato the Hydras here, or potentially the the hatchery, but that's kind of crazy. That's a lot of energy to end up eventually killing that hatchery. Still, I feel like it's a bit of mismanagement here for XiaoShuai, who has a lot going on the map, but he hasn't been able to really break this. I don't think that you can actually break this on high ground unless you go for something like Ultralisk and drop. Or you just build a huge amount of mutas suddenly after killing all the Marines. Like, there's only a few Marines here. If you kept up with the Mutalisk upgrades, you could potentially just overwhelm that and kill every tank. Because he can't make Marines here. So you put a bunch of lurkers there with the Dark Swarm, and then you just attack with mutas and just overwhelm the spot. You might be able to crack it. Of course, he'll just throw down a ton of turrets immediately, start making Goliaths, but if you can get enough of a surprise going, you might be able to knock down that base. And all the tanks up there would be a huge win. But he hasn't found that win here, and Nada is growing, guys. He's got the center left, and now he's going to take the top center as well. And Hydra's just going by the wayside. The center left is going to be threatened. And so Nada actually needs to start moving his tanks out now that he's got this huge amount of tanks. He can start to move forward with those. We did see the battle cruisers go down. I might picture that a little bit later. But a few battle cruisers did end up falling, and it looks like he's done making those as well. Charon booster upgrade on the way. Still just pure Hydra. Still pure Hydra being made. And you know what? The Terran can just sit here with all the tanks that he's got. Make another round of tanks for this high ground. Keep the tanks going over here. Actually, where are all the tanks? Okay, they're actually coming out now. They're being messed up by, of course, this bunker and the supply depot and all these SCVs sitting out front here. But eventually they're going to start to move. Ultralisk upgrades are coming online for XiaoShuai now, and he's got these extra 2 gases. That's a lot of defilers. I wonder where those were at the natural a bit earlier. But he certainly managed to pop out quite a few. Ultras are going to start being made at 13 Overlords. I wonder if he's going to do a drop, guys. I think that might be in the cards. Great plague there on some of these tanks. Denying the base in the center left for a little bit longer is nice, but really Terran can keep going for a long time on these 2 bases in top right. And once he secures this one, I mean, you're talking like mine out situation. You're going to have to fight the Terran until you mine everything and the middle, because they're just going to sit there with tanks and just never move. Ventral Sax on the way. He's definitely going for a drop. He is 100% going to try and drop on top of everything. It's going to be tough. Air defenses are being set up now. He's still got a lot of Marines. He's still pumping Marines. Maybe he can get a drop on some stack like this and then force a big move. If you can force tanks to move into this position, and then you hit them from the side with a bunch of ultras in Overlords, that could be very strong. I'm going to go ahead and irradiate these defilers. That's fine. Ultra's going to come up now. No drop play from these ultras, so they're just probably going to get completely shelled down. +1 is done, so they get minced. Even with all the upgrades that he's managed to accumulate on these ultras, they still don't fare very well, unfortunately. They do just get kind of mauled by these tanks, and it's going to get worse. +2 is about to finish. 11 ultras, guys. This might be the back-breaking attack for XiaoShuai. Either his back will break or Nada's back will break with this next attack, because you can't really just keep doing that forever. You can only make 12 ultras and have a timing one time, I feel. Look, he's going to come forward here with just 1 ultra, trying to bait in some splash on top of these tanks. He is going to get in on top of a lot of this stuff here. Nice plague there on the bottom side, and he's making a run for the ramp. All of the defilers have been irradiated, though, and so the Dark Swarm will not reach the ramp, unfortunately. A lot of these SCVs are going to fall, but tanks on the high ground will retain the position, and so the main base will not be killed here just yet. A lot of vessels going down, though. That's a big win here for XiaoShuai as the vessels fall. Getting rid of all of that. Maybe he can now break the main base. None of these follow-up defilers will be killed on the attack. So he can bring defilers right up to the front and start dark swarming this natural because there's no vessels to irradiate those. Okay, here's some vessels. They don't have the energy yet. Where's that defiler? Looks like he's loading up, ready for the attack. Gonna bring Hydras along the low ground and then drop Ultras here up on the high ground. Can he break the position? That's a lot of Marines, and a lot of these are going to go down before they can unload. No, most of the Ultras do get out of the Overlord. Doesn't mean they're going to have a great trade, though, as the Marines stand here in the middle, and the tanks do the majority of the damage. Now, he is getting up onto the high ground with some Lings, and he's continuing to flood here. Can he actually break the high ground? He will get through the last few Marines with just barely enough life left in these Ultralisks. Getting on top of this barracks production area is huge. Will Nada move with his other forces? It looks like he's just trying to stabilize here, but he doesn't realize this is over. You cannot stop the flood now of Lings coming across the map and just continuing to break this positions right as the Marines pop out. He has to make a move somewhere else, and he's going to start to bring tanks over here. It's a big decision. He could try to attack down here, bring all the tanks over, and try to break this base. Lower down the amount of gas that's incoming here for the Zerg. Maybe force a big fight over on that side. But he really wants to maintain his main. He does not want to have to rebuild every single supply depot here. I'm going to bring the Marines up. He's managed to set up a tank spot. Oh, Dark Swarm flying defiler over at this natural is huge. This is such a good move. Such a good move in a situation like this where there's hardly any vessels left. This is a nightmare for Nada. He has to wait for such a long time. He actually needs to move the tanks over and try to kill the defiler here while it's underneath Dark Swarm. Big round of Ultra and Ling making its way forward. Not enough fodder for these tanks. He doesn't have Marines here. He doesn't have Vultures with mines or anything like that to soften up the units, and so a lot of tanks will fall every time the Ultras and Lings engage. That is not a tenable position for Nada. XiaoShuai is ripping him apart right now, finding ways under the hard skin of the Terran player, and now he's going to be landed here with the Lurker right underneath. Can he... I would just consume the Lurker and throw down another Dark Storm. This is so much value. So much value. And he can attack 12 now. Oh my gosh, XiaoShuai has done it. XiaoShuai has broken him with the Flying Defiler plus Ultralisk drop combo, managing to take out Nada. A huge moment here as he clears out the remaining Terran forces. Nada, the old legend, not quite able to keep up and is going to fall apart. I really thought he was in a good position when he was able to hold these two bases in the top right. I did not expect him to get broken in his natural. Maybe getting a bit too greedy holding this and trying to, you know, push out with the tanks, maybe keeping more on high ground, maybe building more turrets, being a little bit more defensive. It would have been a good idea. But XiaoShuai is just on the warpath now. He's breaking through everything. He's killing off more and more tanks, and he's going to continue to grow here. In fact, he's managed to snag center left, which is crazy. That's so close to the Terran base. I can't believe that not actually held his own main. That is also wild. I mean, there's tanks going down everywhere. This base is going to continue to bleed tanks as well, which is, I mean, you just can't hold up. You can't hold up in a position like this. Here we go. Vessels over on this left-hand side. Those are going to be dealt with immediately. A lot of drones do end up going down. There's still 63. Wow, he gets every drone in the line. That's a very good move, that eraser trick. I don't know why more people don't use it. Throws down a plague here right as the Defiler dies, and he will be able to break that. He's going to break top center as well. Can resaturate this base. There's a lot of gas in there, and so he will be able to continue to build up while Nada is just falling apart only has 2 bases mining. He can still play a pretty good game as Terran with only 2 bases, but that's assuming that the Zerg doesn't have this much gas incoming. So much gas going on here. You know, these 4 almost depleted. Okay, that's depleted. This is not quite. There's got 3 full-on geysers and then 3 depleted geysers going. And so that is so much gas income. The amount of ultras you can field, there's no way to stop it. There's truly no way to stop it everywhere, especially once you put Flying Defiler and start lifting ultras into these overlords as well. You can't hold both of the bases. I'm sorry, Nada. I'm a big fan, but there's no way he's going to be able to hold these bases. He's also trying to push out slowly here to try and take this base, and I think that'll trigger XiaoShuai. As soon as he sees this base floating out to take this location, he could actually fly in and kill this. He could definitely kill this. He's actually getting Gamete mitosis. I hope he builds a queen. He could absolutely take over this command center if he wanted to. Dark Swarm's coming down. Cannot deal with all the Defilers right now. Another Dark Swarm. Here comes the Flying Defiler. Plus Ultra going to be dropped right on top of this high ground, on top of all of the tanks. So a lot of them are going to be going down, and I think this is the killing blow. Look at how quickly everything falls here to the 5-3 Ultras on high ground on top of the tanks. If you try to run this up the ramp, I swear to you, everything dies. But with the drop play, he manages to break this location, and there's very little that Nada can do about it. He's going to do some sort of little counterattack here. Gonna go ahead and stick in to this game as long as possible. But the writing has been on the wall for a while, and he will tap out. GG is called. Nada takes an L when it comes to XiaoShuai. Just cannot keep up here in 2025. We're going to continue watching his journey, though. This old legend at some point is going to come back into his own. I can feel it. This guy, I mean, the history behind him is immense. He has had so many great games from the past. I'm sure that if he continues to work hard, he is going to give us some amazing showings in the ASL in the future. And I'm just all here for it, guys. Watching the legend play out. We've got another game to watch, so let's jump right in. Okay, game number 2 here. Let's go for the red Zerg. I need to have red Terran. And another TVZ for us to enjoy. Nada. Be over here in the top right-hand corner. Bliss is here in the top left. I have no idea who this guy is, but I just have heard this is a very good game, so we're going to go ahead and cast it here today. If you guys have made it this far, if you're enjoying the Nada cast, go ahead and hit that like button. You know what to do. Leave a comment for the algo. And give me some of that sweet support. Could definitely use it. I'm still here in Canada on vacation. Hanging out during the week. Basically, nobody has any time off. During the summer, everybody is busy. All my friends have kids. Nearly all of them, anyway. And full-time jobs. Saving up their 2 weeks for some sort of holiday. Probably to Mexico. It is what it is. I never wanted that life, and I found a way out of it. And so that's why I live abroad. I live in Japan. I get to see a lot of the world. Went to Philippines this year, which was a very short flight. Quite a cheap flight as well. And have plans of going to Europe next year. Looking forward to that. But it is interesting to come back and just talk to everybody who is working their 9 to 5, doing whatever job they went to school for, and or not. Quite a few of them not doing jobs that they went to school for, but struggling here in the Canadian economy and trying to do their best, trying to raise a family, that sort of thing. It is interesting. So some food for thought, that's for sure. And what life could have been like, I guess, if I had taken another path. But I'm not sad about it at all. I think I've really had a lot of fun times. I've done a lot of interesting things, and now I'm here. I mean, it's weird, but I'm making a living off of casting StarCraft and doing this for you guys every single day, which is kind of incredible and funky and weird, and probably it won't last forever, but I'm still gonna keep loving this game. I've been loving this game since I was a kid, and so I'll try to keep it going forever. We'll see. Definitely my love for the game. Like, one of the things, guys, about StarCraft is that I had this thought. I was like, maybe if I cast and if I make a YouTube channel all about StarCraft, probably like I'll fall out of love with it. I won't be enjoying it anymore after a few years, and then I'll be kind of stuck, you know? But I thought about it more, and I was like, I've been watching this for like 20 years, and I still get excited whenever I watch StarCraft. So like, what am I even thinking about? Why would I lose interest? And that kind of sealed it for me. I was like, we've had this test. This test has been done, and it came out positive, you know? We are positively... the positive test has been done, and we are positively obsessed. We know it. Everybody knows it. You know it. And so why are we even hesitating? Looks like this SCV finally going to be taking down, Bliss, not XiaoShuai, watching as the 2 racks play comes out here from Nada. It's going to put some pressure on the front, but Bliss already has the first sunken colony done. Should have the sunken colony just in the nick of time. Oh my god, it's going to be close. Nada already up here at the front. He's just going to hit the stim button and go. Ling's coming out to the front, but they're not in time. Drones are going to be pulled off the line. You have to pull the drones here, but definitely Nada doing right by just targeting them down. 4 drones are lost, simply because that second sunken colony was not done in time. Bit of an unfortunate situation here for the Zerg, but looks like he's just going to repopulate drones rather than making any sort of Mutalisk to go ahead and try to counterattack this. Pure drone production coming out of him. Oh, run by. Can he actually get past here? Oh my gosh, not going to happen. Nice try for Nada, though. Just pulling up the fire bats here and hitting the stim button. Making a run for it. Double sunken colony, definitely able to shut that down. 1 Ling on the ramp. Prevents the fire bat from getting up in there and causing a lot of problems because there are no Mutalisks on the field. Finally, he's going to start to make those, as he has indeed replenished this drone count. I like this, the play from our Zerg player here. You know, he had an idea in mind. He wanted to have a big economy before going for these mutas, and when he lost a few drones, like, all right, we'll just remake drones. We won't worry about hitting this timing anymore. We're gonna stick with our game plan. Now, he's not probably gonna get much damage done with these mutas because he's got like 7 together. There's the 7th one. However, there's lots of Marines now. Look, he's even gonna lose 1 muta immediately. That's a little bit rough. So unlikely he's actually going to get any work done with this. But he will have a big economy, and he's got Lurker Aspect on the way. He's going to throw down a base in bottom left and just see if he can't kill this Marine group out on the map when it moves. You can see now it's starting to come out here. All he needs to do is delay until Lurkers can come down bottom left. Oh my goodness. He starts his Queen's Nest and Lurker upgrade and can't really afford the 3rd base just yet. That 3rd base is going to end up coming up pretty late, as 8 sets of Lings get made. Definitely for a finishing blow on this Marine group, but still does not have the 3rd base up and hasn't even researched that Ling speed just yet. So Ling speed not even being done is kind of crazy. Another round of Marines comes out. It's 5 racks which is going to put on a lot of pressure. However, getting the earliest lurker upgrade you can after going for these, first 7 mutas, that's the way to actually counter this play. The problem is he doesn't have this hatchery up, which can cause some issues, but he should be able to get lurker out well enough in time to shut down this 5-Rex. And even going to get on top of this. That's a great move with the Lings. Oh my goodness, what a cleanup. What a cleanup here from Bliss. Bringing the Lings right up and inside all of the Marines there. It's pretty difficult to do, but that was basically the perfect surround. You can't ask for more than that. He absolutely wipes out that bio group, which I didn't think was going to be able to happen, honestly. Like, he was setting up for it, but 5 racks production from Nada means he has so many Marines. Maybe needed to stim and kind of back away more into a corner or something so he could take a better trade against the Lings, but the Lings just got such a perfect engagement. It was all over in a second. Hive is going to be finishing up now, and lurkers will start to be made. No reason to make any more mutas here. Full switch over into lurker production, because typically with the 5 racks, factory is late, and you can see it is quite late here. That means that there's going to be lots of lurkers out and defending each of these locations before tanks or vessels can get out here, and that means he should be able to get a pretty easy transfer of workers over here with the Nidus Canal and drone up hard on just a few lurkers. You only need like 2 lurkers here under an Overlord, and you can hold on to a lot of the stuff. Wow, Ling's not taking a great trade there. It's like I just barely missed that. I didn't expect engagement right now because he should be holding this natural. All right, 3 lurkers at the sunken colonies, and these lurkers are going to make their way around down into this bottom left. And now he should be able to get a 4th base online while droning up really heavily and not worrying about any sort of pressure from Nada. Nada could try to go for a really fast drop play. Hope that the Zerg is being super greedy right now and maybe break him on just a few lurkers. But as long as he's got defilers and he manages to make a few extra Lings, a few extra lurkers, he should be able to shut that down, especially if he makes some Scourge too. Get some Scourge going and, keep an eye out for drops potentially coming here. This is a very good position for the Zerg. I'm not sure how Nada's going to handle this. Is he just going to double expand? He's already got 42 workers. He could definitely do that. The Zerg is going to be passive for quite some time. He could also try to turn on the aggression and just make drops and try to get in there. If there's no Scourge, for example, down here, maybe he can drop back here and do a lot of damage. The lurkers can, of course, move, but maybe you can move around them. Dropships on the way. There it is. You can drop back here. You can drop up here on high ground. You can make a lot of crazy attempts to try and break the Zerg at a point like this, but the setup is looking nice, and the drone saturation is getting very good. 43 workers already. He's also got defilers with energy ready to go. Doesn't really have much in his main just yet. Some mutas over here, of course. Has that spawning Overlord as well. Looks like the expansions are going to start to come up. These drops are now flying out. Was he able to see that? No, I don't think he was able to see that. Not with the receding vision from the Overlord there. 2 more drops on the way. 4 drops right off the bat is pretty crazy. He is going to thread the needle here, find this position. Immediately, the mutas are going to be pulled back. Lurkers trying to run up the ramp. Never mind that mineral field. The lurkers and defilers are going to have a hard time coming up here. Plague would like to be finished here, but it's not quite going to get there. Oh, he does get the kill on that. Plague upgrade is going to go down. Some of the drop ships are going to escape. Well, one escapes. I'm not sure what happened to the other one. Must have been a pair of Scourge. Marine's trying to hit the extractor from the high ground there. More drops moving out now. Triple drop ship. Where is it going to be headed? Picking up some units and possibly going to be going straight for the same location. Scourge are there, but he manages to avoid it. The Scourge have such low vision. Can he get one of these? He does. One of those go down. Bliss doing a great job here. hitting this. And Darkstorm will go down again. These lurkers are going to make short work of all of that. Even the Marines popping out here will not be able to stand against this many mutas. He should be able to kill everything as it pops out of the dropship. And yes, he will be able to clear all of this stuff. Very good defense so far, and with minimal units as well, which is beneficial. The Defiler Mound has been remade. I don't think he's restarted this critical upgrade, though. Plague. Nice Darkstorm there on this mineral line. Ling's going to come forward to go ahead and deal with that. Marines on the high ground are still a threat, but should be dealt with here relatively soon. Only one sunken colony down at bottom left. He actually needs to kind of snap out of it here. Get his units through to that bottom left. He could end up very quickly being broken here if he's not careful. The Nidus Canal could be targeted right after that sunken colony. Does pop through a few units. Where is the Defiler, though? There it is. Defiler pops out. Darkstorm, there it is. Darkstorm does go down. Plague on the way, finally. Going after the Nidus Canal. Can he get it? He does get the Nidus Canal. That's a big moment. Going to be able to target down the Lurker as well. The Lurker kill is huge. Lurker kill is absolutely massive. Lings popping out here, trying to fight. Drones are going to be trying to fight now. And actually, that Hydra will help out quite a bit. Lurker's coming down from being morphed up there in the base. Another drop. 4 drops this time coming into the main. Oh my god, and he's pulling the lurkers away right now. Oh, Defiler does get targeted down. No reaction just yet from Bliss. He's worried about, getting drones back to mining at that other base. Lurker here going to be taken down. A lot of these drones are going to fall as well. Targeting the Evolution Chambers. Evolution Chambers going down. He's only got the +1 armor, +1 attack on these Hydralisks. He's gone for Ultralisk, but he's not going to be able to get that attack upgrade, and no second armor upgrade coming. Oh my gosh, this is so much damage. Every Evolution Chamber just went down here. And the Ultralisk Cavern looks like that's going to be targeted as well. The Spire looks like it will survive. Spire at least not going to bite the bullet here just yet. +2 attack, or +1 attack only on these Marines is crazy. He goes for the Spire. You're crazy, Nada. You are insane, my friend. Going after that Spire is wild, but he actually tries it. Not quite able to get the Spire. At least he can still make Scourge. But he's having to remake Hydra Den and Evolution Chamber. All of those cost drones. Evolution Chamber's down here in the bottom left for now. Some lurkers over in this mineral line is a good move. Flying straight through with the vessels is pretty crazy. No Scourge were made, though, unfortunately. Defiler here not going to be in position. Oh, Lurker needs to move forward. Lurker not quite in range. It is going to be helping out a bit. More Lurkers coming up here. Looks like he will hold, but he might end up losing the spawning pool. At bare minimum, he's going to lose the gas. Can he actually get the Spire? Oh my gosh, he's going to get it. You've got to be kidding me. That Spire. The Spire going down is crazy. He's going to get the spawning pool too, most likely. Spawning pool goes down. Wait, yes it will. Lurker's going to fall here too. Most of the Marines will be cleaned up at the end of the day. Going to be sending some forces over here to potentially shut down another base, but it's not here just yet. A lot of craziness has happened so far in this game. Still, 47 workers, not too bad. The main has been cleared, guys. Everything except for the hive, which is actually quite important. You got to keep that hive alive. Coming in now, gonna lose a vessel here at the front. Darkstorm probably gonna come down, or Plague. Plague is great too. Can he get a Plague off? No, the Defiler's wandering around on top of each other. What are they doing? Oh my gosh, the Defiler's not working here, not doing their jobs. And so many of these drones will end up falling down to 43 now. Gonna lose even more as more damage comes through. Targeting down the hatchery. Probably not going to work, although it is getting quite low. Are we going to see this hatchery go down? Still 2 more Marines attacking it, and it does fall. Crazy that he's able to get that kill there. Defiler, Darkstorm. There it is. He does throw down the Darkstorm. He is starting to push forward here. Has to consume another Hydralisk base over here at the bottom. So he's trying to get a 5th base online. We'll see if that happens, because he's having a hard time keeping his 4 bases rolling right now. 49 drones are remaining. Continuing to build vessels here. Not going to go for that big round of battle cruisers. This is a bit of a crazy game. And so feels like, probably feeling like he can't quite get away with it. It's a little bit too much wackiness happening. Pushing forward with Lurkers. Dark Swarm. And Lurkers burrowed here. Be able to get a few Marines. That's all right. A few more Defilers over at this natural. Ripe for the picking. Only one Lurker defending this base is kind of crazy. Doubt that that'll stand if that's all he's going to bring forward. He definitely needs to put some more Lurkers, at least over here. Got to start cutting off this area, and that way you can just cover this ramp. Dark Swarm. Going to be getting rid of a lot of these Marines. Good flag there as well on some of these vessels, and hasn't managed to retake this base. That is a little bit frustrating for him. Oh my gosh, this one Lurker. That Lurker getting a lot of damage, I tell you what. Lurker getting a huge amount of damage. A Lurker going to burrow here. Dark Swarm barely not in time for that Lurker. Now the Marines can go under the Dark Swarm and actually start to hit this hatchery and maybe kill it. He's going to go ahead and just target that down using the Dark Swarm against him. It's very frustrating to deal with, I tell you. As a Zerg player, sometimes the Marines just run under the Dark Swarm and just target your buildings. Very frustrating. Does manage to deal with that, though, with a couple of Lurkers coming up. He is going to stabilize. A lot of Lurkers making their way up here to high ground. Oh my gosh, right as everything flies out in these dropships as well. And so a Dark Swarm is going to come up, and this base has been completely denied. However, the counterattack is devastating. No Nidus here, guys. No Nidus whatsoever. And so Lurkers are going to get made under this Dark Swarm, but he can focus the Hive. And more units are going to come up this ramp. Kind of a cheeky play there, making some... Oh my gosh, these Lurkers are all going to die. Cheeky play, making some Lurker eggs there, but he's going to lose the Hive. And as the Hive goes down, the chances here of saving the rest of the tech is very, very low. Did he remake a den? Okay, he's making a lair. Sorry, a mound. Defiler mound. If he makes a Defiler mound, maybe he can hold on. Oh my god, run with the Defiler. Oh, consume. Oh, consume. Run forward. He has to save this Defiler mound. At least make a bunch more Defilers before that goes down. One Defiler was made. Uh-oh. That's not good. Marines making their way down here. Counterattack going over to this base. Not enough stuff here on the high ground to hold. Lurker's going to make their way over. Can he actually save the base? And he's going to attack into this one. Oh, he's actually got nothing in the bunker. That's a big move. Dark Swarm. He does get on top of that. Base is starting to go down here. A lot of chaos happening right now, but he's got to make a move. Go, 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 go. Gets the Lurkers into position. There we go. Nada on the ropes here. He's not really mining anything. Not mining anything at all. Maybe time to move to the middle. Move to the middle. It's a little bit harder to attack everything at the same time. He's going to go for some irradiates here. And he's broken the main. The main is basically dead. There's nothing left here worth saving. And so it's just going to be 3-base Zerg. But it's a mining 3-base Zerg. That's the thing. Nada does not have mining. And he's going to start losing even more SCVs. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is painful. How are we going to lose all these SCVs? Long distance mining. A base that doesn't have any defenses. You know that Lurkers are up there. I'm pretty sure you know. Oh gosh. He's doing some boxer micro here against these Lurkers. Looks like he managed to kill a bunch of Lurkers with just 2 Marines. 5 kills apiece. But at the same time, lost most of his workers trying to mine this base. So chaos is happening, is the moral of the story. Chaos everywhere. And, okay, he actually flies too far away. You're not going to be able to kill those Lurkers, which is quite funny. But he's focusing on killing this base down here. That's not going to happen. 5 Lurkers on that high ground is definitely hard to break. 3-1 is done. But you've got Dark Swarm. And there's not enough irradiates to kill. Okay, I guess there is enough irradiates to kill everything. But not enough... Or not. There's enough vessels, but you can't get close enough with everything being plagued like this. And so, oh gosh, he's going... Just running out with the Hydras, looking for kills on vessels. Not going to find it. 4 still. Lurkers on this high ground. Still denying this base, but not as backup in mining. What a weird and wacky game, guys. This is what I was looking forward to. Nada pushed to the very limit here. He's still ahead in supply, but barely. Just barely. This army is scary as heck. I'm going to go ahead and burrow under this Darkstorm. He does lose, of course, the Defiler. Defiler are going to end up going down here. Looks like a lot of these are being brought back to be repaired, which is kind of crazy. Or where are they? Oh, drop down here. Oh, this is huge. Crazy drop. 1 going to go behind this mineral line. 2 going to go into this base. There's lurkers here. So that should be... Lurker should deal with everything in that base. But he's actually going to get a ton of kills. A ton of kills. Oh my god, but he's trapped. He is completely trapped. Oh, so many lurkers coming down. Completely surrounding this army. Nowhere to run. Nowhere to hide. Everything dies. 9 workers on the way. 9 workers on the way for Bliss. As he recovers and regains control in this game. I mean, what a fantastic and wacky, wild game we've got here. I think pushing forward, getting rid of these lurkers, super important now. Got to get rid of them and start to control this high ground with some tanks. He's got a few tanks here and there. But I tell you, if he sets up on the high ground and just has like a little bioforce in front to try and snipe things, maybe get some vessels out in front too. That's a lot of vessels as well. You know, you cannot discount a Terran when they're on 2 bases. 2-base Terran is extremely scary. Oh my gosh, you lost a tank there. You've got to be kidding me. That base is so ripe for the picking, man. Definitely going to be heading most of his army that direction. Moving into the middle to try and clear things. It looks like he will be able to clear up a lot of these tanks. Radiates come forward, though. E-Matrix as well. Buying a little time there. A lot of Irradiates come out to start to really smash through all of the Lurker and, of course, the Defiler. If you can get the Defiler with this, absolutely huge. Looks like the Defiler will survive for now. It's very low on HP. He actually might be able to deny this base. No EMP or anything like that. Oh my gosh, the Defiler gets stuck on the ramp. That's huge. If the Defiler gets up here and places the Darkstorm over here, there's almost no way to hold this base. But now, oh wow, a lot of kills on some of these vessels, dropping that count way down. But with the Darkstorm right there, you can actually hold this. That is very holdable. Oh, nothing over on this side, by the way. Ling's going to come up and clear 3 tanks, basically for free. This is what I'm talking about. If you have 3 tanks up here, those Lings do nothing. Absolutely nothing. But they're going to kill 3 tanks in such a awesome trade for Bliss. Going to be hard. Very hard for Nada to win this game now. He is really struggling. A base is going to come up down in the bottom right-hand corner. Not sure that he can actually say anything about that or do anything about that. A bunch of Irradiates can come down. Go ahead and irradiate all of these lurkers. Oh, he irradiated a science vessel. Not sure why, but maybe he'll go down here and try to get an eraser trick. Not sure. More Irradiates coming down here, and the Marines can fight the Hydras. Almost at 3-3, though. And there's only 3-2. I guess 3-3 is coming for the Terran. That will eventually occur. Dropships over on this left-hand side. Just kind of hanging out is funny. And probably pull those back. They could be useful later on. Ling's going to charge up into this base, getting a little bit of damage here. Dark Swarm goes down. Needs to irradiate that. Oh my gosh, he's going to have to pull away from this base. Again, going to lose control of top center. Dude, Nada might be losing this game, guys. He's played a pretty good game with all the drops that he's done. Gotten a lot of damage. But he is struggling to keep his own mining up. And here comes some more Defilers as well. Plague goes down. The Defilers here can just wait for the Lurkers to approach. And then try to take this high ground. Should be able to break this position. Coming down to the bottom left. Maybe there's a point of weakness here. Maybe he can find some location. Can make some progress. So far, it's been rough. Not really able to find that progress anywhere. Dark Swarm, Lurker, Plagued Marines die immediately to all this stuff. And it seems like we're going to see Nada kind of fall apart here. He's going to kind of go by the wayside, trying to push one of these spots. We just can't find any damage. Can't find anywhere that's not fully defended by defilers and lurkers. And now the SCVs are going down. Oh my god, so many kills on that lurker. 10 kills already. It's going to continue to get worse and worse here. 21 SCVs left. Nada just unwilling to tap out, man. This guy will never give up until the last vessel is killed, continuously irradiating. And just never say die mentality, attitude. Double D matrix there is pretty funny. Keeps that tank alive though, and continues this push and the potential for this push. He lost his CC over at 12, and so he can't really mine anywhere. Is he gonna go to the middle? Oh, finally, he's gonna go to the middle. Oh, tanks have been taken down. The defiler push forward is gonna kill off everything, and now the vessels are all gonna fall. I think this is the killing blow, guys. If these vessels all die, okay, they don't all die, but a lot of them went down there. And it's just a few Marines looking to threaten this base. Base in the bottom right has been taken as well. Let's take a look at the gases. Depleted, almost depleted. If he was just able to hold on to 2 bases, maybe there's a hope for Nada, but 16 SCVs. And he's not really mining. 10 minerals. 10 minerals is what he's got. And he's going to try and hold the entirety of this army pushing forward. A lot of lurkers going, oh, what the heck was that? So many lurkers just fell. It was like 6, 7, 8 lurkers going down all in a row. With the defiler in the mix. It's not like there wasn't a defiler there. All he needed to do was burrow as he was trying to surround that, but it's a pretty good trade. Still 10 minerals, man. Gonna mount this comeback. Nada's gonna do it, man. He's got this. Sending all the SCVs out, I believe. 16 SCVs? Hell. That's more than enough. You don't even need 16. Wait a second. Gonna push up here. Good target fire on the lurkers. All those lurkers are gonna go down. And now the Marines can kind of stand and fight. However, 3-3 Hydras and this many of them can start to target down one by one all of the Marines. And there it is. GG. GG finally is called by Nada. Again, never say die Nada. This guy just sticks with it. Never give up. Never surrender. Bliss does take him down, though. That's a little bit unfortunate. We've seen Nada get kind of rolled by a lot of these Zerg players. Not exactly rolled. Like, he definitely had some chances here in this game. Definitely made some good moves, taking out the main and stuff. He hasn't been able to get many wins on the channel so far. Stick around to see if that changes, if that turns around. And shout out to the Patreon supporters, guys. If you have the means to support through Patreon and you love this game, definitely take a look at the link in the description. $5 a month from a good number of you guys is really keeping me alive and kicking in this space. I am a big fan of StarCraft. I will always be a big fan of StarCraft, like I said before. But you know, if I have to get a job and go ahead and, you know, submit to the 9 to 5 and not put all of my attention into Broodwar, then that just means less content for everybody. And I'm really hoping that we can get more content from more sources in the future and just keep this going on forever. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.